And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gem into Crypto episode 964. Today is Tuesday, June 7th, 2022, and I am King here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday. And today's top stories: leaked copy of U.S. draft bill shows DeFi and DAOs under regulatory lenses. Fed forget long-term dollar devaluation when pricing eggs and Bitcoin. Bad day for Binance with SEC investigation and Reuters expose. And last but not least, actually two more. IRA Financial Trust to sue Gemini over $36 million in crypto assets exploit back in February. And the Klever, I guess, founder, developer, wallet was actually hacked, or not his actual wallet, but he was scammed. I won't say hack. It's a big difference between the two. That and much more here at the Gem into Crypto. But first, of course, let's go ahead and check out these prices. And when I'm doing that, I'm actually going to bring up the chat, give some shout outs to everyone out there. What's going on, everybody? Let's see. Prices of the day. Bitcoin is coming in on a low, down a quick 6.47%. I'm sure you all saw that quick flash crash yesterday, down 7%. A lot of people are going crazy about that. I saw a headline saying that we're going down to 14K. That's right, people. There's headlines in the news saying we're going down to $14,000. I call for a flash crash at a possible 17. I still think that's possible. But 14 would be getting ridiculously low. I don't know if that's going to happen. Bitcoin today is at $29,538. Down 6.46%. Ethereum's at $1,759, down 7.87%. Of course, number 3 and 4 are what's supposed to be stable coins. Number 5, BNB is down 8.87% at $279. We'll be talking about BNB today with this SEC lawsuit, or SEC attacking it, I should say, and how that may affect the price. Cardano is at 59 cents, down 4.43%. Ripple at 39 cents, down 3.19%. Solana at $38, down 12%. And Dogecoin round up number 10 at 7 cents, down 4.46%. Biggest gainers of the day, we have something called CV shots. COVID shots, hilarious if that's what it is, up 245%. Sport token is up 190%, and gold nugget is up 182%. There we go. Dumb money is still in the market, regardless of what they tell you, as long as things like that keeps pumping. All right, some quick shout outs on the day. Let me bring this chat box up. Chat already lit. What's going on, chat? This is definitely a 10-ish day. It's just me for the rest of the week. Bitcoin Zay is down at consensus. So shout out to those folks. I know Cass said he was at consensus as well. So everyone who's down at consensus, shout out to you all in Austin, Texas. I don't plan on going, but you all know I'm a pretty random person, so who knows? I might get bored today and tomorrow and pull up in Texas, but the plan is not to go, so I don't plan on going. Milton, what's going on? Wendy Nichols, Bitcoin Madam, Patrick Walter, Kadeem, Finn, Satoshi Slim, Wyatt Try It, Only the Realest Stage, Chappie, Bitcoin Bully, Tonio, Kendra D, Captain G, Heavy Productions, Pop D Pop. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Make sure you smash that like and share as well. Make sure you smash that like and share as we get the show started. All right, let's see. Jake said SEC attacks are knighting these crypto projects. Everything they going at are going to be major players. Woo! Okay, Jake, that is a take. That is definitely a take. We're going to explore that here in a second. But first, of course, let's go ahead and talk about this leaked copy of U.S. draft bill shows DeFi and DAOs under regulatory lens. Again, I'm going to say this. I haven't read the story yet. I saw the headline. I saw people talking about it. But people, if you're in DeFi, no worries, no fears. There is a lot of money to be had before they start extorting the DeFi sector. And I think it's going to be one of the toughest sectors for them to extort. The reason being is because a lot of the developers are pseudonymous. Shout out to those pseudonymous developers who are creating these projects, who are making things open source and then just disappearing into the night with projects on the hand and capital being raised out the blue. But that's right. The draft bill proposes to eliminate anonymous crypto projects with DAOs, DeFi, and exchanges required to legally register in the United States. Again, I think this would be a slow process for DeFi because you can't really put a name to the face with a lot of these projects and the protocols. Again, we're talking about technology here, people, when you're talking about these DeFi projects. They are protocols. It's a new form of technology. It's basically like going on a website that no one has claimed ownership of. And again, I'm using that same calculator example as Bitcoin. These protocols are just different calculators. Instead of going to the bank or going to an ATM with a plastic card and getting money out, you say, hey, no, I want to be a part of this financial market. I just want to throw capital up. I want to farm. I want to stake. I want to do whatever. And there's essentially an algorithm doing it for you on the back end. It's not like a human or a set of humans who are clicking buttons to make it work. On the other hand, we know ICOs had a face. STOs, of course, had a face. And now NFTs and NFT holders all have faces. I think those things are going to be the things that the government continues to go after and begins to go after when we're talking about NFTs versus DeFi. I think they want to go after it. They keep seeing these high dollar amounts, but I am telling you, it will take a lot of resources to go after the DeFi projects. It will take even more resources to find the people who have really staked a lot of capital in these projects. And then they're going to take even more resources to actually say, you know what, I'm charging you with something that you did wrong, whatever law we're about to make up overnight, because DeFi is brand new. I'm going to charge you with a law. I'm going to take you to court over it. This is going to take a long time, people. To me, this is a non-starter. They're just trying to scare some people and stir up the pot a little bit. But a leaked copy of a United States draft bill concerning cryptocurrency started doing the rounds on Twitter earlier on today, Tuesday, the 600-page copy. This is the issue right here. And this is why I'm so anti formal regulation. I'm for self-regulation. I say keep it like the white paper. If any of the laws or bills that have to do with cryptocurrency exceed 10 pages, and I'm giving you an extra page because we know it's only 8 pages for the white paper, with the 9th being resources. But let's give you a full 10 pages, extra 2 pages essentially. If it exceeds 10 pages, we shouldn't want it. We don't want it. We should vote against it. This is crazy. A 600-page copy of the leaked bill. People, for one, who remember voting on anything about any bills concerning cryptocurrency? A, B, who is going to go back and read 600 pages of a draft? This is how they sneak things in there, people. The leaked bill highlights some of the key areas of concern for regulators, including decentralized finance, DeFi, stablecoins, decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs, and crypto exchanges. I mean, people, 600 pages. Like, that's crazy. And not only that, who came up with the 600 pages? Like, because I know it's not the actual Congress people doing work, right? Which means that they have their, what do we used to call them? I can't think what they call them. We call them the hanger-oners, the strings or whatever. Essentially, the people who follow the people in charge all the time. So the people who follow the Congress members around, the people who work for them. You mean to tell me you put your intern to work over the weekend to do a 20-page report, and everybody's intern turned in a 20-page report, and you all just put it together? It's like, here go our 600-page draft bill. That's the way I'm looking at this. It's kind of crazy. But again, user protection seems to be protection. You know that word. User protection seems to be the primary focus of regulators, so they say, with policies intended to require any crypto platform or service provider to legally register in the US, be it a DAO or DeFi protocol. I mean, where do we start with things that's wrong with this? First and foremost, this is what they did to the internet. This is literally what they did to the internet. Oh, you want to run a satellite? Oh, you want to actually host, you want to be the internet? You got to register in the United States. That's right, folks. You have to register with the United States if you want to be an internet service provider. You can't just be out here giving people internets and throwing satellites up in the air. You got an army? You got a navy? Hell to no, you can't do all that. So to me, this is the same thing. They're like, all right, we're about to treat this thing like the internet. It's getting too big, too fast. We can't control it. All right, that's it. I don't care what you're doing. You need to register with the US. Do you understand how colonial? I don't even know if I'm about to use a real word here, but this is, I'm not even going to make up a fake word. This is a colonial. I can't say it. This is colonialism in its finest. This is the word I was going to make up, a colonialist. That might be a new word I made up, mindset in its finest. Why? And it's, again, when I say we in the United States, we're talking about less than 1,000 people who make these decisions, people. But literally, you have less than 1,000 people who represent our country telling the entire planet, if you do anything in any of this technology, that's for free and for use to everyone on the planet. That way, there's no barrier to entry to the financial market. You will be a criminal in the United States. You need to register with the United States to do anything as far as the DAO or DeFi, any of those things. And guess what, folks? This is all for your protection. I love it. Hey, gang. They say this could highly curtail chances for anonymous crypto projects to progress in the United States Any crypto platform not registered in the country will be liable for taxes, and the definition of DeFi still seems vague. That's right, because they don't know what DeFi is. They don't know what an algorithm is. They don't know how to stake. They don't know what staking is. They don't know what farming is. They don't know any of these things. All they know was that their best friend or some wealth advisor told them that Terra Luna was the next best thing. You can get 20% a month or whatever they had going on. Hey, I know this guy on Wall Street who has this tattoo of it on. He has this huge multi-billion-dollar firm, Terra. I told you what happened. They all ate it on that one. I think a lot of regulators and a lot of Congress people ate it on Terra. They all try to do that get rich quick shit, as they usually do in the stock market, thinking us regular taxpayers wouldn't see them, wouldn't notice, and we didn't until they started screaming about it after the market collapsed. They've never screamed about the crypto market going down before until now, and that's because they just got hit. They got slapped with tuition for the first time, and they realized even in this school, it doesn't matter who your parents are, where you come from, everyone must pay tuition. So again, this is their get back to me. This is their way of saying, fine, you know, we're over it. Everything needs to be registered with the US. The leaked draft bill also tries to offer more clarity on securities laws as they regulate the digital assets, a demand that has been persistent from the crypto community and lawmakers alike. According to the Commodity and Futures Trading Commission's definition of a commodity, if there is any debt, equity, profit, revenue, or dividend of any variety, then it is expressly not a digital asset commodity. Again, so this goes more and more into the circle jerk of 600 pages of ways to protect United States citizens, because that's right. Out of everything that's going on in our country, the last 2 years, the thing we need most is a 600-page document about how we can be protected from crypto. It sounds like a money grab. It sounds like extortion. It sounds like the gang's going to keep being a gang. And at this point, I'm done. I'm tired of fighting them. Listen, gang going to be the gang, people. This is what's happening. They're going to try to overregulate it. And when I say try, I'm using that word very liberally. They're going to overregulate it. People are going to hop on board. Why? Because we have a country full of bootlickers, and everyone can't wait to be told what to do next. And this is all cool, but this is coming. This is coming. Put it like this, people. They didn't just waste taxpayer money to write a 600-page document if they don't plan on actually executing some of that document. This is happening, people. It's happening. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. As this person says, it probably is not the final draft. I highly doubt that, but you better believe some of the things in there will be in it as well. This looks like it was only a draft bill, may not be a complete, final, or even real deal. I would say if it is, though, and if passed in this form, is good long-term for big entities, super painful near-term for 99% of crypto. Exactly, because they want institutions, they want big exchanges, they want companies to go public, shareholders, money. And this is all good for big entities that work with the government. It is not good for what Bitcoin and cryptocurrency was actually for. And that's the majority, just the normal person out there, if they want to be on any type of network to send and receive value. And I think shout out to William Cross, you know, our in-house lawyer. He does have a show coming out today at 10 a.m. I believe he may be covering this, but I know it just came out today, so maybe not. But be on the lookout. I know he's always covering some really good topics on that law and crypto. If not this week, I'm sure we'll get it soon. And here's a Wall Street Bets chairman saying, let's see them try to enforce it. Again, if you're in the space, if you know, you know. Shibitoshi Nakamoto said all they really got to do is go hard after exchanges and the party is over. Yes and no. I think it would slow the party down, but people, exchanges are, before the last few years, exchanges are still kind of new too. I mean, Mt. Gox was the biggest and most infamous one back in 2014, 2013, when it went up, bubble, belly up. But after that, the last few years, you've had Bittrex was turned to Shittrex within 6 to 8 months. You have Poloniex, which as soon as they got rid of their troll box early 2017, that was basically gone. Circle bought that. The CEO had to resign to the board after that because that was a terrible buy for $300 million. Coinbase, we all know that's terrible. I mean, they went public and they're just losing money because they were overvalued. Gemini still sitting pretty decent. Uphold, I'm not a fan of anymore, and they're fully the feds. I mean, people, exchanges have never really been like a huge part of the market, with the exception of brand new people trying to onboard. The point of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin specifically is peer-to-peer. So even if exchanges dissipate or had to go, you know, they go hard on exchanges and exchanges work with them, for one, majority of the market is here for fiat. They're here for money. They're here for NFTs, flipping a quick buck. So I don't think that would slow or stop anything down. And then for the diehard people, again, I keep comparing it to music. I truly think this is going to be like music. The market got overregulated. No more LimeWire, no more Napster, no more free downloading, X, Y, and Z. But what happened years later? First of all, the technology still exists. Anybody out there within literally 10 seconds can download any song on the internet in 10 seconds for free. That's real. The technology works. You can literally Google YouTube to MP3 downloader. Boom. Google browser to MP3 downloader. Boom. Like, it is free services online in a browser to do this. Those will be the people who are the diehards. Those are going to be the same crypto people who, you're not allowed to do this in DeFi. You're not allowed to do that. This is the new law, rule, or regulation. Those would be the same people who be like, yeah, well, you can't download music either, but the technology to download music is well and alive. So I think it's going to be the same thing. So to me, it's a non-starter. For the people who are here for the fiat, who just want to make a quick buck, get rich quick, mitigate, whatever, just want to be in the cool kid market, they're all for these regulations. Finally, you're telling us what we can and can't do, the market say. For everyone else who can care less about the regulations, who are trying to self-regulate and who aren't listening to a government tell you about DeFi when they don't know what DeFi is, then I think it's going to be just like music. It's literally going to be like music. There will be people who pay monthly for Spotify. What else we got? I don't even know. Of them. Pandora. What else do we have? Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. There will be people who pay monthly for that. There'll be people who don't pay and they'll just get the free versions of that, right? However long the free versions last. And then there will be the people who say, why do I need any version? I could just keep my iTunes, that's free for everyone to download, and then I can just download my own music. So the same thing is going to happen in the Bitcoin and crypto space. People are going to say, all this technology is open source. I can just download a wallet. I can just go on this protocol. I can just get a VPN and go overseas and work here or do whatever, right? Digitally. And then there's going to go forward. So to me, these stories are non-starters. I think the government is going to shoot themselves in the foot when it comes to innovation. If anything, we're going to get left behind when it comes to other countries speeding up as far as what they're innovating in this sector. But again, we're talking about this US draft bill. And remember, folks, look at this one now. These 600 pages are here to protect you. These 600 pages are here to protect you. There it is. It's crazy. This is crazy. One more time. Had to do it twice. 600-page document draft bill, folks. That's how you know we're dealing with a gang who isn't serious about your protection or the livelihood of our civilians. And it's quite unfortunate, but it is what it is. Could you imagine, people, 600, when do you get to vote on this? When is the final bill coming out? Like, how I don't even know how the process works anymore. Like, this is just so uninteresting. Could you imagine reading 600 pages of this? Stop it. Stop. Like, this was crazy. I'm going to tell you, it was really crazy. Satoshi Nakamoto, him, her, them, those, whoever, explained Bitcoin in 8 pages, with the 9th page being like 9 or 10 references. So in 9 total pages, they explained Bitcoin, which has since birthed DeFi, ICOs, crypto in general, over 18,000 tokens now, XYZ, this, that, and the other. The internet of money was birthed. Smart contracts. All this was birthed from Bitcoin in 8 pages. But to protect us from these 8 pages, we need 600 pages. Hey, gang, I love it, man. Listen, it ain't no better country in the world, all right? That's what people mean when they say ain't no better country in the world. Ain't no better country in the world, people. What other country, would drop a couple bombs on another country, be like, hey, now y'all don't do that. Now y'all don't drop bombs. That's only for us to do, okay? Only we can do that. Y'all play fair. Y'all be nice. But listen, gang, I love it. Let me look at the comments and see what you all are saying. Colonizers, thank you, James. You know what I'm trying to say. Mr. Gaylord, wonder how they would go after helium hotspot mining. So great point. Not necessarily. So yeah, I will get into it a little bit. That's the one thing I've told everybody about helium. I've talked to a few people who are high on helium, no pun intended. They go crazy. They loved it. Some were in early, some got in late, some getting in now, blah, blah, blah. If you can see my background, I have a pretty high floor in LA. Everybody's like, oh, you got to get on helium, man. Like, with your location, how high you are, you'll get a ton of money, da, da, da. Turns out everybody in my building is doing it too, by the way. So all these fake crypto people, they're alive and well in my building. But the thing I was telling everyone about helium, and my only thing against it, I won't say only, but one of my primary things against it is only going to be fun until the lights come on. When the lights come on, the party's going to stop with helium too. Essentially what helium is trying to do as far as using different signals to patch on and connect, blah, 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 blah. It is about to be a shit ton of regulation around that, people. If you know about the Helium project and what they're actually doing, that is unregulated right now. I can guarantee you that's going to be regulated. If they're regulating deep or trying to regulate DeFi, oh man, who said that in the comment section? Shout out to Mr. Gaylord. You are right. I've been telling people about that. I think they're going to go after helium hotspot mining as well, because the way they're doing it is unregulated. And anybody who actually knew about it, if it was widespread enough, could start, I believe, to hack into people's devices from a technical point of view. But yes, helium would be a very interesting one to look at. Colonizers, thank you, thank you, thank you. Rendo like Denzel. Hey, it's funny. I was actually laughing about that the other day. Rendo like Denzel said, I know King can pronounce these words after working in PR. You're absolutely correct. I'm actually, I like to, I just joke a lot. You got to break it up. You know, you can't be all perfect and correct enunciation all the time. It's 7 a.m., man. I like to have fun. I mispronounce words all the time intentionally sometimes, to be real. S1 Dubs, with the coming economic difficulties, would it be worth building a DAO that operates similar to a nation state? Yes, but as I tell people, and this is Bitcoin Zay and I kind of thing where we meet in the middle of the road, because he's all about economic growth, development, so on and so forth. So, hey, you're talking DAO, right? And for me, I'm like, all that sounds good, but you're dealing with psychopaths who are real killers. Like, there's no other way to say it, people. The governments around the world are made up of psychos. They want to know everything about your personal information. To me, that is crazy. But I say that to say it doesn't matter how big your DAO is. It doesn't matter to me how much economic growth and development you have. If you don't have no guns backing it, it just doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. Clearly to the United States, it doesn't matter. So that's my thought on it. I mean, let's say the top 5 wealthiest people in the world, or just the US, you know, get Elon Musk, get the Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, let all these guys start a DAO and say, hey, we don't like the way the government is run. We want to change X, Y. What? I don't see it happening. I see heart attacks being served the first thing cooking in the morning. I just don't see it happening. Yes, the aide de camp came up with these stupid rules and regulations. Appreciate it, Sergeant Crypto. PFC Wills, I found it interesting that it was 600 pages be the core takeaways I've seen floating around all fit in one page. I see this as misdirection. That is my point exactly. It does not take 600 pages to talk about something that was written for 10 pages, like, or 8 pages, really. Like, this is crazy. Milto said user protection and their documents got leaked. Boom. Nothing they say and do makes sense. This is why I got to keep calling them a gang, because it's getting so funny now. They're not even trying to hide it no more. They like, yeah. Today the sky is purple. He's like, but I'm looking at it blue. And it's like, yeah, but it's purple today, or else you're gonna see some jail time. You want to go to jail, boy? All right, you want to go to jail? You want to go home? That's what I thought. The sky is purple. Let's see. City Boy said the bill was written by a senator who's a Bitcoin maxi. She had a conference with Ted Cruz and Bitcoin recently, and has been in the works for months. So here's the deal. Bitcoin maxi or not, when in the federal government, they're the federal government. So here's the thing. I say that to say this. When it comes to office politics, people, office politics is the same as an officer in the military, even the same from what I've been hearing and listening to the military. When you're trying to make like E7 and chief and all that, office politics. If you're not on board, if you're not toting the same party line, if you're not reading the same messaging, then you will be booted. You will be kicked. Your career will slow down and stall. So to me, even if you do have a Bitcoin maxi, the best we can hope for is that they're having these side conversations trying to get other people onto it. But as far as them standing up, the senator being like, this senator is a Bitcoin maxi, and this is well thought out. And I want to, I'm doing this to help people. I don't believe it. Not with 600 pages. Not with 600 pages. And even if that is true, and they are a Bitcoin maxi and they are actually trying to help the environment, then be clear, they didn't say anything about Bitcoin. They're going after crypto, so that's fair. But even if that were so, A, they're going after crypto. And then B, again, are the other, what, I don't even know anymore. It's been so long ago. Are the other 50? Is it 50? I don't know how many. 100? Are the other 100 senators, 2 per state, right? Are the other 100 in there with you on the same board? Because just because you wrote it don't mean it's going to go. But I'm with you. I hope it is for the best. Again, you're right. They do specifically talk more cryptocurrency than Bitcoin. So that may be a positive about it. Let's see. PFC Wells, the way it's worded about core code would arguably cover Bitcoin because it says a company would have to issue a new terms of service based on the code updates. Ooh, okay. Interesting. What else do we have? Bitcoin Sean, what altcoins do you all think will make it through the crypto purge? I only see 5 lasting. As someone says, maybe I think Jake said, and maybe the government is giving you low key the call sign who is going to make it by the people they're going after. But we'll see. All right, let's see. Okay, PFC Wells said this is not the Loomis bill. So this is different. Unless you're talking about Loomis, it is different. This is not the Loomis bill. And I stand corrected. Thank you, Satoshi Slim. The sky is purple today. It's Prince's birthday. Rest in peace, Prince, for sure. All right, let's see. What else is going on? Oh, my goodness. Speaking of the Fed, I mean, this is hilarious. Again, these are the people who want to regulate DeFi. Fed forgets long-term dollar devaluation when pricing eggs in Bitcoin. That's right. The U.S. Federal Reserve has released a blog post showing the instability of Bitcoin against the U.S. dollar when buying eggs. Again, the same day, 600 pages on decentralized finance, DAOs, everything else in crypto, brand new technology that's less than 3 to 5 years old for some of these projects. The instability of Bitcoin against the US dollar when buying eggs. Okay, let's go there. The crypto community was quick to point out the reality of the situation. I mean, we all know the reality of the situation. The St. Louis Federal Reserve, and then they already come out and said something about crypto in the past before. The St. Louis Federal Reserve stirred up a mix of amusement and curiosity from the crypto community today after publishing a post showing how the cost of eggs in Bitcoin has fluctuated over the last 14 months compared to the US dollar. Again, bitter X, as Bitcoins, they would say, like, if you don't like Bitcoin, why are you talking about it? This is the craziest thing to me. And again, because there's psychopaths in the government. On June 6th, the Federal Reserve arm posted a blog post titled Buying Eggs with Bitcoin, a look at currency-related price volatility. And then here you can see the different things, blah, blah, blah. It goes, what? And then it shows the dollar amount, how it doesn't fluctuate as much. But people pointed out, what would the graph look like if we purchased that same carton of eggs with Bitcoins instead of US dollars? I just said that twice, my bad. Crypto Twitter reacted essentially saying that they were cherry picking the period to push the narrative of Bitcoin's instability rather than zooming out, which would instead show the massive devaluation of the US dollar. The Fed wrote a post showing the price of eggs in USD and Bitcoin, comparing them over the last year, showing Bitcoin as more volatile and unpredictable. Only problem was they forgot to zoom out, and that's Nick Newman on Twitter. And this is the actual zoom out of Bitcoin at the top and then the US dollar at the bottom. And of course, that's because the US dollar has been devalued for I don't know how long at this point as well. So even the Fed is starting to price consumer goods in Bitcoin. Bullish, it says Joe Burnett. Price of eggs going down, no inflation. No matter how they put it, they use Bitcoin as a unit of account to compare. That's really big. Wow, this is my first time actually reading the story live. This is actually huge. They're right. 2 things. We talk about Bitcoin as reserve currency. Why are you pricing it in Bitcoin if you don't think that's even possible? That's a great point. Years ago, that wouldn't even been like, are you crazy? Price something in Bitcoin. And then second thing is, again, the most obvious is like literally, let's go to history. Grandparents, parents, do we all remember the days? I remember that nickel could buy me a burger. Let's not even go to our parents and grandparents. People, let's go to 2 or 3 years ago. The price of gas, like the dollar is losing its valuation, people. And I know people will say, hey, whole gassing is international issues and all the other stuff. Hey, I don't know what it is. All I know it was one price a few years ago, it's a new price today. And I'm in LA and it's crazy, okay? But when it does come to the dollar, milk costs more, eggs cost more, gas costs more. Everything costs more because of inflation. Our dollar is being devalued. So I'm actually glad that they did make this post, as it looks like a lot of crypto Twitter are as well, because they're like, this, you're making your own point. And actually, shout out to the St. Louis Fed. They've actually made comments about Bitcoin in the past. I think this is somebody at the St. Louis Fed actually trying to send a bullish signal for Bitcoin. I think they're actually like, they can't come out and say it like, yeah, like the dollar's devaluing, look at Bitcoin, but you can do a little funny money and be like, haha, Bitcoin, look at the dollar, and then have everyone else point out for you. And the St. Louis Fed sit back like, we trying to tell the rest of our coworkers, but they don't want to listen. So maybe, you know what? Hand clap to St. Louis Fed. Maybe this was intentional. Maybe they were like, yes, we know exactly what we're doing. We were the first bank to ever price goods in Bitcoin publicly or whatever. And yes, we didn't go with it. We didn't say anything as a positive because we don't want the Bank of International Settlements, the bank of all banks, or JP Morgan Chase to jump down on us. But we do want to put that signal out. So I'll look at it in a positive way. But here's the purchasing power of the US dollar. It's fallen sharply over the last century due to rising inflation and money supply. Again, people, simple mathematics. You can't just print out a bunch of money and the dollar equals a dollar. Imagine tomorrow we say Bitcoin. There will no longer be the number we said. That 100 and or whatever, 21 million. I got this 141 in my head for some reason. I don't know why. It's with the project. But that 21 million Bitcoin we said, that's no longer. It's going to be 21 billion Bitcoin. What would happen to the price of Bitcoin today if we said there would no longer be 21 million, there would be 21 billion? I mean, is it safe to assume we can at least take off a zero? Is it 29,000 a day? Hey, shit, 2,900 today. Like, is that safe to say we could at least take off a zero, saying there will be 21 million to 21 billion one day? Big difference. That is what the US dollar is doing. They're saying we got all these dollars. At first it was backed by gold. Now it's not backed by gold. Now we have all these dollars and poof, bailout money. Now we have all these dollars and poof, COVID money, PPP loans, whatever. It's like, oh, now we have all these, poof, hey, the big U, heard y'all need some money overseas. We got some money for y'all too. Like, you can't do that, people, and have the dollar maintain its worth as $1. No matter how many guns, police, or military you have in the world, it just won't work like that. So again, this is that chart, purchasing power of a dollar. You can see here, back in 1913, a dollar, here, let me actually close this out. A dollar would have got you, let's see, 30 Hershey's chocolate bars for $26.14 now. Let's move it up. 1929, a dollar would have got you 10 rolls of toilet paper, $15.14 now. Dollar would have got you 10 bottles of beer. What is that right? That is crazy. 1933, what a time to be alive. Let's go to 1944. A dollar would have got you 20 bottles of Coca-Cola. And if I remember correctly, they had that real yo-yo. They had that real yayo in there, people. They had that real white girl in there. Back in the day, you talking about an 8-ball and a soda for $1. Let's see, 1971, 17 oranges. Let's move it up. 1987. All right, we got some 80 babies in here for sure. 2 boxes of crayons for $1. 1997, that's when I first got on the computer. 4 grapefruits for $1, 2 lemons in 2008. In 2020, 1 McDonald's coffee for $1. People, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. And that means that the dollar is devaluing itself, or we're doing it as we keep printing more money. So again, all hail Bitcoin and crypto, looks like. Robert Thomas, thank you for the tip. Much appreciate that. Let's see what some of the comments are saying. Jake Fever said, how much Henny with that dollar bought? Hilarious. Let's see. What else is going on? Bring back them nickel bags, said Billy Crush. All them stems and sticks. All right. Let's see. Crypto Chief said, I see a lot of red candles on the dollar and a heck of a downward trend. Let's see. Satoshi Slim said, that's a hot take, King. It could really be a call signal on the Fed's part. Wish we can prove it. Yeah. You know, we got to pay attention to that. I think that was Jake Fever who initially called it, as far as saying this might be a signal. But yeah, I mean, it might be St. Louis Federal Bank being like, yo, we with y'all, but we can't say we with y'all. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what else we have. Billy Crush, Big Mac was 20 cents in 1972. So that's the thing that's crazy, people. The Big Mac didn't change. They didn't add a shit ton of new ingredients. Like tomatoes, all of a sudden, like this was a 20-cent tomato back then, but not, well, I guess not even then. It was a 4-cent tomato back then, but now it's a 40-cent tomato. Like, People, the Big Mac was a Big Mac in 1972. It's Big Mac now. At least it from a 20 cent to a $5, whatever it is not that big of a difference. I mean, I give them a 40 to 80 cent on new, ingredients they might put in, but goodness gracious, this is crazy. All right. Bad day for Binance with SEC investigation and Reuters expose. That is right. People, we called the signal for Binance at this point, I think last March. But yes, the SEC is reportedly suspicious that the world's biggest crypto exchange sold unlicensed securities in its ICO, and the news agency tallied up some old cases. So first and foremost, even if this is true, hand clap to Binance. You did your thing. You sold what you needed to sell. Hey, people like myself, I wanted to play it right. I didn't want to get it, I ain't trying to go back and forth with the government. I was like, I don't want to break the law, but shout out to the people, crypto.com, once known as Monaco, Binance. What else we got? I mean, there's plenty of companies out there who said, nope, we are going to break the law. We ain't playing, break the law. We ain't playing, and years later, they're about to get hit with a fine. So that's what's up. Like, I'm older now. I get it. Older as far as older in business, more mature in business. So I do understand, like, people, this is another day for JP Morgan. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all caught a multi-billion-dollar cocaine shipment? That wasn't ours. It was on our ship. They ain't our ship no more. Y'all do whatever y'all want with all that. It comes with the territory, right? Wells Fargo, 5,000 accounts created fraudulently. Pay the fine. We fire some low-level people. All right, whatever. Like, I get it now. This is a part of business. Like, it's literally a part of business. Same way if you were doing criminal activity, part of that business is going to jail, right? A part of that business is maybe doing some things you don't want to do to, prove a point. It's a part of the business. This is a part of the crypto business, people. It's a part of business in general. And that's when you need to know when to hold them and fold them. And it looked like Binance said, we're going to hold them. That's right. United States Security and Exchange Commission is investigating whether Binance Holdings broke securities rules when it launched its BNB token in an initial coin offering 5 years ago, Bloomberg reported on Monday. 5 years ago, talking about extortion. You got to love it. Like, a couple of things. And if somebody's in the chat can answer this, please do it. If not, I'm sure William will be on to give us more information on this type of stuff. What is the statute of limitations on securities rules? Because you're treating this like a body right now. 5 years ago, you remember y'all was shooting like, what's this YSL case? Like, what are you talking about? 5 years ago? For a financial possible crime, that's super gray area because we didn't even have a definition of what an ICO was or the regulations around it 5 years ago. To be clear, the United States didn't come out to the end of November of 2017. October, November 2017 is when they first started talking about regulating ICOs, and the buzzword STO came out. And then in 2018 is when they literally said, all right, STOs and the party's over. So if you didn't even come out with the guidance and the buzzword STO into 2018, what laws were broken? And this is someone who's not even a fan of Binance, just being real about it. It's like, really, we're going back 5 years. But the people, this is another reason why they're talking about DeFi and DAOs. They're going back 5 years to catch an ICO with a person's name on it. They don't know what they're doing. We have nothing to worry about. They are way behind, way behind. I mean, if that's the case, shit, you might not go after some of the people from Terra Luna until 2027. Like, could you imagine in 2027, they'd be like, hey, yeah, we still working on that Terra Luna case? It's crazy, people. This is extortion. I'm not mad, but it is extortion. You got to call it for what it is. Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange, and BNB is the 5th largest cryptocurrency. The BNB ICO took place in July of 2017 on several platforms during the height of the so-called ICO boom, and the Binance exchange opened just days afterward. Wonder how they did that again. Oh, man. People, hindsight, hey, they paid. According to Bloomberg, citing unnamed people familiar with the matter, at least one U.S. resident claimed to have taken part in the ICO. There you go. At least one U.S. resident claimed to have taken part. That's all it takes, people. You can have a whole company in a different country. Could you imagine if the rules were reversed? Could you imagine if you started a business here in the United States and Russia or China or Iran or North Korea was like, hey, you stepping out of bounds and you're either going to pay us or we're going to come get you? Could you imagine that? Oh my, that's scary. That's a scary thought. But again, according to Bloomberg, they said that at least one U.S. resident claimed to have taken part in it, which could be a crucial fact for an SEC case if the agency chose to pursue one. The SEC has claimed most cryptocurrencies are securities and brought cases out against a number of ICO projects. So this was going to happen here. Two things. Either we won't hear anything about this because behind the scenes, CZ is going to give our government a very nice gift. He thought, hey, what I tell y'all, hey, he thought he was giving a gift when he did that Twitter buy-in. No, 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 no. First of all, Elon didn't buy it yet, Bucko. I was gonna say Buddy and Buckle. Elon didn't buy it. So that was your that was what you needed right there, CZ. I know what you're doing with that 500 million. You really needed Elon to buy Twitter so you could be like, hey, we an American company too. But he didn't do that. So now you looking like, how can I give the government this $500 million while giving them this $500 million? You know what I'm saying? I get it. So what will happen is what he tried to do essentially, and that's try to give the government $500 million, but on a slide tip, right? But the only thing about that is, even if you were to do it behind the scenes, I think this thing's like crypto and everything's blown up to the effect so much that people are getting caught doing all this dirty stuff, you know, stealing money, laundering money, XYZ. I don't even think the government would take a handshake deal behind the table because I think they might even be scared of getting caught up with that money, but it's still gang. So I want to put it under them. Second thing that could happen is the public gifting. The SEC is not going to waste their time and resources to investigate someone if they don't feel they're about to bring on the full force of the SEC. Oh, they're coming. This investigation was for CZ to hear so he can start offering up some money or do what he needs to do, but it will come. Now, looking at some of the last ones, I can't remember what some of the other people paid, but because Binance is so large, they took 5 years to come after them. In the comment section after the video, let me know what your guess is, the amount of the fine that Binance will have to pay. I'm looking at, I can't remember how much their ICO was. So off the top of my head, I'm going off of how much I know they've probably been making, what the government's looking at. I'll give them anywhere, that's a big number. I'll say $45 million. That's going to be my call. We're looking at the $45 million ballpark that Binance would probably have to pay the United States government. Basically, they just want the money we gave to the U back. Hey, CZ, you saw that money we had to give to the U? Hey, US wants some of that back, baby. They're going through crypto companies to get it. You first. So yeah, I think 45 million on the high end. The government plays nice and they just want a little bag. You can see something as low as 13 to 17 mil, but I wouldn't be shocked if they tried to set an example and was like, yeah, what? He in Singapore? And what? The government might hit him for 45 mil off rip. So we'll see what happened, but this is crazy. This is crazy. And you can actually see here back in 2020, too late now, baby. CZ said in the 2020 blog post that the wording of the BNB white paper was changed in January 2019 because the potential for being misunderstood as a security is higher in certain regions. Listen, you don't even have to, you don't even need no words in there. This is all you need for the United States gang government. You made a bunch of money and we didn't get none. Come on, man. You're talking about changing words that you that tickled my tummy. He said he changed some words in the document. Oh, okay. I ain't gonna want your lunch money today. What the fuck? You over here writing homework and you think I ain't gonna bully you today? Like, what are you talking about?
From here on, nothing goes down unless I'm involved. No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in.
You understand what that means? I want in. It doesn't mean, oh, you read it wrong. We did the writing different. Nah, bruh. You got money, right? I want in, said the U.S. government, and they will get in, said the U.S. government. This is crazy. This is crazy. Let's see. Todd said they will have to pay a little bit, but then have to become a chain analysis node and a quasi extension of the NSA. And that's the flip. And that was actually what I was thinking about. The 45 million is for them to stay sovereign, essentially. The 13 to 17 million, oh, you part of the United States now, my boy. So that is kind of what I'm looking at. Jake Fever said BlockFi got slapped for $100 million. 45 is low. So yes and no. BlockFi was going hard in the United States, that lending program, people. Binance hadn't went as hard. I'll say that they haven't went as hard, but you're right. 45 is low. They could crack them, but I think they want to be his friend more than they want to crack them. So that's why I'm going with my 45 on that one as a high end. Again, as a high end, but it would be crazy if it's wrong because goodness gracious, if they did pop up one day, 120, 200 mil. Hey, my boy, you might as well, move, stay in China. stay in China or Russia. So I'm like, you what? Like, what are the options? Todd said the SEC is going to mess around and be like, we're investigating Spain, Portugal, and the Catholic Church for selling unregistered securities and joint stock companies from when they colonized the world. Hilarious. But of course, the Catholic Church has already paid our government time and time again because they're all on the same page together. So you know how it goes. All right, last couple of stories. This was a crazy story to see. I didn't even see this happening. It kind of stuck on the radar, but I wanted to talk about it because we've been talking about a lot of IRA stuff in crypto. IRA Financial Trust to sue Gemini over $36 million crypto assets exploit back in February. It's unclear at the time of the publication whether there be any recourse for investors in recovering the lost funds. On Monday, IRA Financial Trust, a platform providing self-directed digital asset retirement and pension accounts, filed a lawsuit against cryptocurrency exchange Gemini for alleged negligence in safeguarding customers' digital assets during a critical exploit. The firm's client accounts were held in Gemini's custody. On February 8th, a breach led to the siphoning of $36 million in crypto assets from customers' accounts via unauthorized withdrawals. $36 million. Goodness gracious. Since then, both, you're right, Jake. Shit, 45 is low. I guess people getting hit for 36. Since then, both companies have blamed each other for being responsible for the loss of funds. To complicate matters, an allegedly fake 911 call coincided with the time of the hack that distracted many of the IRA Financial Trust employees from their desks. That's crazy. To avoid, it sounds like an inside job then. To avoid single points of failure in its security systems, Gemini possesses multiple security features such as two-factor authentication, whitelisting withdrawal addresses, and fraud detection algorithms. However, IRA Financial Trust alleged that there was instead a single point of failure within Gemini's API systems. The firm claimed a mastery key existed for clients' accounts with the ability to bypass all built-in security measures. Hackers were able to gain control of IRA's master key by committing crimes, the release simply claims. So first and foremost, I've been on Gemini since they began. I will say that I'm pretty sure since they started, I will give them maybe a 3 to 5 month grace period, but I'm pretty sure since they started, because they started in like 2018, end of 2017, 2018. And by that time, two-factor was pretty popular. I'm pretty sure Gemini has always had multiple, what do they call it? Multiple security features. For as long as I can remember, they have had multiple security features. So some of the things I've been teasing the last few weeks, I haven't been talking about when I keep talking about institutions, all this stuff. This is some of the stuff I'm talking about, people. Gemini with RA teams, like these partnerships are starting to happen across the land. And this is one of the things I actually talked to someone about when it comes to this stuff. And that's essentially Gemini being the custody or the custodian of all these different crypto wallets or IRA accounts or whatever, when institutions and everybody go toward them. This is the issue there. And here's the deal. Like, this is what sucks about it. Most of the people who are doing IRA accounts, they don't want to hold their crypto. They don't want the keys. They don't want Bitcoin. They literally don't. It's too much technology, too much new stuff. They're done learning. I get it. Trust me, I get it. And they're just like, I'm good. I got my IRA here with you. You keep it with this reputable account. Okay, cool. Winklevoss. All right. Sounds good. They don't even want to hold it. So when things like this happens, that's when everyone gets to point the finger back at Gemini and everybody else. But of course, not your keys, not your cheese to even begin with. One scenario looks like is that a series of alleged unencrypted, unsecured email exchanges between Gemini and IRA Financial Trust served as the backdrop for the breach. Woo! Without even reading further, people, I already know this is about. If you read Bitcoin's book, Bitcoin in Black America, he briefly spoke about the breach. Well, technically it was negligence on exchange, but essentially we were hacked for a lump sum of money some years back ago. And yes, it was through emails is how it actually started. People, if you're not doing it already, make sure you're deleting your emails sent and received after at least 60 to 90 days, especially if you're sending and receiving passwords in those emails. What hackers will do, the good hackers these days, they will take all your emails. I don't care if you got 10,000 emails. They're going to go through each and every one of them. They have teams to go through and comb through emails, and they will find old passwords, old logins, X, Y, Z, and they will use them. And they will more than likely work if you're not using the password manager that we talk about in the masterclass, like OnePass or even LastPass. I know a lot of people like as well. You should be using the password manager, but I can pretty much guarantee that they probably had some type of logon information in the email. Somebody got a peek of it and was like, oh, we ain't here. But even if that were the case, it still seems like an inside job because, again, Gemini does have multiple security features. So I'm not sure how just a one-click boom out of here anyway. I mean, to even withdraw money or to even, I think to even, I'm not quite sure, but deposit possibly, but I know to withdraw, you have to put in all types of codes and stuff. So there's all types of stuff going on there for security. IRA Financial Trust denies that it was informed by Gemini about the power of the master key in the first place. The lawsuit comes less than a month after the two parties attempted to settle the issue out of court. IRA Financial Trust says if it wins the lawsuit, it will use awarded damages to reimburse investors. So again, this is crazy to see. Gemini told Cointelegraph, we reject the allegations in the lawsuit. Our security standards are among the highest in the industry, and we are constantly updating them to ensure our customers are always protected. In this matter, as soon as IRA Financial notified us of their security incident, we acted quickly to mitigate the loss of funds from their accounts. So again, shout out to Gemini on this part. This all sounds real to me because we've been through it. Again, that's why we say we as negligence. When we saw that we were being breached, we reached out to exchange, but this was the time that exchanges literally took off at 5 p.m. on Fridays. That's right. No one will be back in to help you until Monday. Why? Because the entire exchange is being ran by what? 4 developers. They think they're business people. They think they're CEOs, but they're running the entire exchange. I'm looking at you, shit treks. So literally this, to see Gemini say, no, we actually got back to you quickly to mitigate these losses. Shout out to them, because some exchanges will literally wait 3 or 4 days and then be like, all right, you said somebody hacked into your account. Like, damn, bro. Yeah, last week. Where you been? Second thing I would say is I agree with Gemini on this. Again, I don't know the truth, what's from what. I'm sure this will all come out. However, being a user of Gemini for a while, and seeing how this market is and knowing the Winklevoss twins are actually in this community, they know what they're doing as far as the protocols they need up there for security and all this other stuff. For me, it's like, who am I going to trust? Gemini, who's been doing it right for a long time so far, since 2018. I mean, whenever we heard of Gemini hiccups, people, or a brand new IRA company getting into crypto, or at least brand new to crypto, brand new to keys, brand new to two-factor authentication, brand new to crypto. I'm trusting Gemini on this one. I'm going to go out on a limb and I say, I don't think Gemini probably jacked this up, probably the other one. But if they did have some type of master key or something and forgot to mention it to them and sent in the email, and then that email got passed around, then technically it would be some of Gemini's fault as well for that negligence. So we'll see how this shakes out, but it's crazy to see. I brought this story up because I think we'll see more of these stories. You know, they're talking about crypto IRAs, Bitcoin IRAs, and this is the way it's going to go. People, we have a long way to go before everything's ironed out as far as how it's going to look in the future, right? We might have ideals of these things. They're being formed, as you can see now, IRA Financial, Gemini partner. We're starting to see some of these partnerships, but these type of things are going to happen. You better believe, whether it's a real exploit or if it's an inside job, these things will happen and they will shape the way the regulators regulate the IRA and crypto market. So make sure you're on the lookout for that. Because this to me is a bearish indicator when it comes to IRAs. I don't think this would be the end all be all, but depending on what happens with this case, it could set precedent. I was hoping that Gemini and IRA Financial settle out of court, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and take this to trial. So we'll see what happens. All right, last but not least, Klever. As you can see, entrepreneur, software architect, CEO of Klever.io. Was scam. That is right. These scammers, they don't care who you are. They on everybody's head. As you can see here, today was a really bad day for me. Short story, a scammer was impersonating a team member. I lost 10 million Klever. That's all. And it looks like that 10 million amounted to about $200,000. But you thought you was about to go retire on us? Hey, get the building. Get the building. You're not going nowhere. No, I'm just playing. That it does suck. Scam. Like we've been through it all in the space, people. So we definitely understand. It definitely sucks. I mean, the scams is going on all the way up until like last year, people. Like literally, I've just gotten to the point now where it's just like, I'm not helping anybody. I'm not nothing leaves anymore. Hey, shout out to Nipsey, all money in, nothing out at this point. But you can see here, just got scammed, 10 million Klever lost and dumped on KuCoin.com by the scammer. Lessons learned moving forward. I see what you did there. He's trying to act KuCoin like, is there anything y'all can do? Please get my money back. This definitely sucks. I wonder what happened, especially by somebody that's building in the community more than anything, because these are the things that can make someone like throw up their hands, like, you know, I'm done with it. Like I tried, I try to do good things. I try to build. And what did I get in return? I got scammed. So it does suck. But again, I mean, that is tuition in this market. Like, I remember way back when Bitcoin Zay, his phone got ported, basically hacked, and somebody was texting me from his number like, hey, send me Bitcoin. I was like, hey, you don't sound like Zay to me. Like, you don't even say that to me. You already know I ain't about to send him no Bitcoin. What are you talking about? I know how it feels to be scammed. I have been there twice. LOL, sorry for your loss. As Hassan wrote. Of course, everybody's kind of just getting back to him. But yeah, again, this sucks to see. Everyone goes through in this market and no one's safe from it. And that goes for these regulators. All these regulators and politicians, that's what they keep trying to do. They want to mitigate these risks so they can come in, 100x their portfolio and ride off, to the sunset while everybody else is all of a sudden trying to catch up after the regulations are in place. They're going to get it too. I'm pretty sure a lot of them got it with Terra, but don't you worry, they're going to get it too. Why? Because they are money hungry. And that's probably the easiest people to scam in this industry are people who are greedy and money hungry. So be on the lookout for that. All right. Other than that, let me go ahead and check out these last few comments. I went a little bit longer today than I meant. Let's see. Ocean X, it was someone acting like a coworker. Hilarious. Scams are false rug pull, said local TX. All right. The money class channel. I am not familiar with either of those. So I can't say. Zen Zali said, I sent Gemini Fed wire, placed 6 trades. 1 month later, said I need to use Plaid to recertify bank. They kept the $39 in Bitcoin. I left them. I don't know about that, but if you only had $39 in Bitcoin, they probably would keep it off the strength of their fees because their fees are super high. So I'm not sure what happened with that, but that part, yeah, that wouldn't doubt me. So Gemini, I said this before, people. Okay, so yeah, Young Ears dropped Gemini after they required re-verification via Plaid. Plaid requires access and passwords to my bank account. No freaking way. So I've said this about Gemini again. I can't say all that. I don't know. I was on Gemini when it started with money. I'll be real. So my experience is going to be different than everybody else. It is what it is, people. I said this before when it came to Gemini specifically and other exchanges. Of course, when the market goes parabolic and is very, it goes bullish and it's off 66, 70,000, or it goes bearish and it gets down to, 15, 20, 30K or whatever, exchanges are jacked up, right? Like they'll stop trading, they'll turn off. Like you want to have multiple exchanges to get on and off. With Gemini specifically, I have said in the past and many times before, they are definitely catering to more high volume people, like for sure, without a doubt in my mind. And as time moved on, they did it even more. So it might be at a point that's where they're at with it. I never had to re-verify or do any of those things, but they're not the only ones. The other bank, which is a Silvergate Bank. Shout out to Silvergate Bank. Gemini uses them. Silvergate Bank has been a friend of the crypto community for the longest. They used to allow individual accounts. I tried to get an individual account there. I had just missed the cutoff. Essentially, they're like, nope, had nothing to do with me personally. They swapped over too. They was like, hey, unless you come in with money, and for Silvergates, the money they wanted was even higher number than I was like, no, I'm good. Like they want 6 figures to start off with type of deal. If you want to be in crypto and work with Silvergate, you need to have 6 figures to throw at that bank ASAP. Not, 6, no. You should throw it at them day one. Like, yeah, I got 100, 200 we're going to start off with. So Gemini to me started going that route as well, where they're definitely trying to go after more high, not saying I'm one, but more high net worth clients in general. So yeah, if it's something like, I had 40 on there, I had even honestly people less than 300 to 500, less than 500, you might see issues on Gemini as well. So I will say that part to be fair with it. Let's see. Jam said this story doesn't help Fidelity and Sailor announcements last month with 401k investing. Here we are only a month later and courts will decide how retirement funds are to be held in custody. Isn't that crazy, right? You thought you was free. Ain't nobody free in here. Why US is so crypto unfriendly country? Because we got a big gang and we don't need to be friendly. We could just take it. Like that's really what it is. They just, the US like, just take it. They go just take it. S1 does creating crypto companies will be cost prohibitive when the government starts handing out jail time. I suspect this will happen when the Bitcoin crypto starts to really flex its muscle in 6 years or so. I can see them handing out jail time as well. I mean, they already do. If you, Charlie Shrum, they sent his ass to prison at 23, 24 years old for selling Bitcoin to someone else who claimed they were going to go buy drugs or something with it. And of course, him and his lawyer's argument was if someone were to go to the ATM or to a bank and receive money, they can go buy drugs with it. But the government figured out a way to say, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about buying it from you. So that's what it is. Hot Damn Right says, I use IRA Financial Trust, but they let you hold your own key. So I was good when it happened. Don't keep it on exchanges or trust the IRA company. There it is, folks. Yeah. And again, we'll have more talks when it comes to this whole IRA and exchange deal. This is going to be widespread, people. Like the exchanges are becoming banks, and these companies are going to work with them as banks as they're getting their banking license in the US. So expect to see more partnerships like that happen. I know there's more down the way on the pike with a few other companies for certain. So expect to see more of those. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I'm glad they're offering people the option. As long as you have the option to at least take the money in your own private wallet, then there's not an issue. Again, the people who got hit that 36 million, 35 million, as it was just stated, they decided to leave their money on the exchange. It can happen like that. All right. Other than that, that is the show for today. Yes, we are familiar with master nodes and super nodes. Which master node are you looking at, money class? That's the show for today. Make sure you smash that like and share. Full lineup today, so be on the lookout. Of course, we're going to have Law on Crypto at 10 a.m. Crypto and Down tonight. Bitcoin. I'm about to say it wrong. I don't want to say it wrong. Jake Fever. I got to get your show name in the back of my head. But bars and Bitcoin and bar tonight as well. Ton of new shows. Make sure you're on the lookout. Subscribe, notification bell on, smash that like and share. And I will see you all tomorrow with some more crypto, Bitcoin, blockchain, ICO, STO, IRA. I mean, every acronym news that you can think of. And you remember, this is for your protection.
From here on, nothing goes down unless I'm involved. No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in.